Hello, I'm Joe Ferguson. This is my studio in Weston. I've been doing sculpture for 60 years or so, and if you'll follow me, we'll go inside. Here we are with Genesis. This is called Ibis. This is Star Plow. I don't know why I named it Star Plow. This is my sculpture, Duck. I had no trouble finding a name for this one. It's called Somorian. The idea is that it looks a little like a spaceship, an ion-driven spaceship, but it also looks like a turtle and a scorpion, or a Japanese samurai soldier. We're in the presence of 7 stars, and the 7 is from the mystical number that goes back to the 7 days of creation. It's a sort of more than a medieval idea. Numbers had mystical qualities to them, and the 7 stars comes up often in medieval works. Possibly the reason I have it 7 stars is because I had 7 shot glasses that were useful in this case. This was not deliberately aiming at doing a 4th bridge, but when it came to naming it, it just reminded me of the 4th bridge in Scotland, which is a cantilevered bridge. But it's very impressive, the cantilevering, and it appeals to my mechanical instincts of how to build things. And a cantilever is always appealing because you can stretch it out from a base.
I mean, do you do this from a design? Do you sketch?
Sometimes, yeah. I used to do that a lot more, but now I like to try and let the glass tell me what to do. I mean, the glass is beautiful in itself, and the colors, and I just like to use it like a painter, as a painter would. Mm-hmm. It means it's sort of labor intensive in the sense that you put something up and then take it apart, but in that way I can come up with something that I couldn't have dreamed up before. The whole idea of being creative is to try and produce something that didn't exist before, that you couldn't think of before. And so this is one way to do it. And sometimes it's fraught with failure. You know, you spend a lot of time doing something and it just doesn't work. This is at the stage where it doesn't say anything particularly to me. And if it ever gets to a stage where it starts to say, well, this is what you should do, and it does get to that stage, it almost is telling me that certain things have to happen, and it almost tells me what those things are that do have to happen. Mm-hmm. And then it starts to take a kind of identity that a work of art should have. And that's a happy situation. An unhappy one is where you work on it for a few weeks and then say, well, maybe I better start something else.
a unit when you say, well, you do have to end up with some sort of a designation and say, well, what is it? That's really what most people say when they look at it. Sorry to disappoint you, but I don't have a name for it. Eventually I will have to give it a name, but hopefully by that time I'll be familiar with it and it will speak to me. They truly do have a personality, and they really do at some point come up with something that is a name. So let's just hope for that. What seems to be happening with these smaller sculptures is that they grow like topsy, and there's no end to them. I'm calling this one flower garden because it looks a little like a flower garden. One of the things I've learned in sculpture over many years is that you have to let it tell you what to do, where to go, and if you go in the wrong direction, it sort of tells you that. When I was beginning sculpture, after being a student, I wanted to establish a reputation and, do something that's original, as most artists do. And the problem with that is that you look for some sort of a formula that's going to separate you from all the other sculptors. And one of the things I wanted to do is a duck in the back, a sculpture in iron. And in that, it's pretty obvious that I had a formula that I was working to. I was working to some idea that I would use animal and mechanical sculptures, forms to determine the sculpture. But it took me many, many years really to realize that the sculpture, if you give it time, it really will speak to you. And this is obvious, it could go on forever. And it keeps talking. At some point I have to tell it to shut up and let me get on to something else.
I'm telling you, I think of soft serve ice cream. Twisty Treat. I'm calling it Twisty Treat.
Twisty Treat. Oh.
I think it's summer and ice cream.
Oh, well.
It's just a little...
It may end up that way because a lot of them, they end up with what people do come up with. It's a lot better than what I could come up with. When I do sculpture, it's purely form in space. We give meaning to it after. We're never free and easy on our own way. We have to cultivate ideas from the past. And some of the ideas go way back. And we see them as children, and they just develop and mature as adults. And sculpture is constantly reminding us of the past, but it also is projecting our mind into the future. It's a lot of fun doing this kind of work because I never know where it's going to go.